Hi everybody, DUGROZ here with DUGROZ Reports. Welcome to another episode of Frugal Points, the series where I drive in my car and talk to you about the philosophical side of points and miles. Today's topic, we're going to talk about credit card burnout. And this is sort of a mini burnout update, so those of you who have followed my channel closely for a period of time know that back around the very early part of last year, we're talking maybe January, February of 2023, know that I had some severe credit card burnout, kind of wanted to just give up for a while. Got rejuvenated when I went on a fun trip in April of that year, and then again when my family went to Europe in the summer of 23, and that was very helpful. But coming back around again, so far this year I went to Charlottesville, Virginia and saw some historical stuff in April. Our family went to Washington, D.C. in the summer, and I guess I'll just be honest with you. While the Washington, D.C. trip was cool, I kind of wished we'd done it in the opposite order, done D.C. first, Europe second, because after having a European summer vacation and seeing a lot of awesome things, Washington, D.C. was not as enjoyable. It was hot, humid, and, very crowded, and we enjoyed ourselves, don't get me wrong, but it was not as relaxing of a vacation, or just kind of a deep breath decompression type of vacation. Next one we do, I think I'll need to turn it into that kind of deep breath decompression type of vacation rather than a go see all the things vacation. So I feel like I'm having a miniature episode of burnout, not like a big one, but just a small one. And another part of that is just circumstances coming together of things that make it so there's really nothing going on that's very exciting in the points and miles world for me personally right now, both on the redemption side and the earnings side. So I'll break that down a little bit and see if I can talk my way out of this little mini funk. Before we go any further though, on this channel I talk about finding epic value, including but not limited to credit card rewards for the average American. If that sounds interesting, please subscribe to the channel and please click the thumbs up button. I will also mention that this will start its life as a members only video. I haven't decided if I'm going to release it to the public yet or not, still working on that decision. But in the event this is a public video, just note that members get to see it first by at least a full day generally. And then everyone else, for members, DUGROZ Diehards, there are members-only videos that are always members-only videos. Right now I've got about 32 different videos that are for members only. So if that sounds interesting, the super nerdy stuff, the super awkward stuff, the things that are too sensitive or controversial to say in public, if you want to hear those, join as a DUGROZ Diehard. It's only $3 a month, cancel anytime. Just find the join button underneath this video. Alright, let's dive in. So, what are the factors contributing to miniature credit card burnout? Well, there's just life in general, and there's redemptions, and there's earnings. On the earnings side, I don't have a lot going on right now in terms of sign-up bonuses. I've got two cards. They're both in Player 2's name. One is the Amex Business Platinum. Got a 250,000 point targeted offer, which is pretty awesome, but it's just, spending on it. It's not a card I would keep or put spending on normally, at least unless they convince me otherwise. But as of right now, yeah, got that going on. Just got to get that $15,000 spent in 3 months. I'll come back around to that when I describe personal circumstances a little bit in terms of how I'm accomplishing that. And then my wife also got the One Key card. That's the Hotels.com and Expedia card issued by Wells Fargo. Still just working to beat the minimum spend on that. I believe it gives $600 of One Key credit, which is basically like, one-to-one cash credit that can be used on Expedia or Hotels.com only. That's not particularly exciting. I got it for some experimentation. I've still got a lot more experimentation to do, which I'll work on by the end of year one in a keep versus cancel decision scenario. But the very early returns with very minimal research, I would summarize as this: not that exciting in terms of hackability. If you're staying at a boutique hotel in a large city and wanting to pay cash, it can be useful and save you maybe around 20% on those cash bookings with the VIP status that comes with it, but that doesn't necessarily suit my travel style that way. I don't like to stay in large cities generally. I mean, sometimes I do, but I also like a lot of road tripping, rural things, small towns, mid-sized towns, historical stuff. So I don't know that it's going to be a real exciting find, the one key card. So 2 rather boring strategies right now, just putting any spend that's more than, you know, a relatively small day-to-day amount just goes on those cards, trying to make ends meet. So that's boring, but a lot of points. I guess it's exciting in that way. If you think of it like penny a point, you got the $250,000 on the platinum business, and you got the $60,000 on the one key card, plus the natural earnings on both of them will probably come out in the neighborhood of another $20,000. So, you know, we're talking 250 plus 60 would be 310, another 20, about 330,000 points roughly between those 2 cards, which is cool, don't get me wrong. On the redemption side, I literally have no redemptions planned right now at all. None. And nothing to look forward to. I mean, my family's going to take some sort of vacation next summer in 25, but I don't yet know what that's going to be. I would love to get back to Europe, but I'm still exploring options with that. So there's really no exciting redemptions at all on the books right now. And then bring it around to the personal side that ties in with that. Part of the reason I don't have any exciting redemptions planned is I found out midway through the year that I had a cap on my unlimited time off at work. I know that sounds kind of funny because my work calls it unlimited time off, unlike unlimited PTO, but no one told me that there's a functional limit to it until about halfway through this calendar year. Actually, it was after we got back from our family vacation in July. She said, well, yeah, technically the company lists it as unlimited, but our department guideline is that you shouldn't take more than 6 weeks a year. Bear in mind, I don't have sick leave or personal days on top of that. So when you factor in personal days and sick leave, it's really only about 3 weeks of vacation a year. I've already blown all but 1 day. So between now and Christmas, I can only take 1 day of PTO the entire rest of the year. So I'd have to be really creative. My kids have a fall break from their school in October, and I was thinking doing another Wisconsin cabin trip like we did last year, but I'm not going to be able to do that in any meaningful way because one of my sons plays football, and the way football practices line up plus a church activity, it's just, we're not going to be able to do it. It just won't fit anywhere on the calendar at all. I am going to the Quad Cities around Bettendorf, Iowa, Moline, Illinois, and staying at a Category 1 Hyatt for 2 nights in a few weeks. So I guess that's kind of cool. That's to take my son to a chess tournament. But that's not really travel. That's just a functional use of points. And don't get me wrong, functional use of points can be great. I mean, $5,000 points a night for a Category 1 Hyatt that would normally cost you $150 a night. That's like 3 cents per point. So that's awesome. No complaints. Glad to have those Hyatt points. But no big redemptions, no exciting redemptions coming up. Trying to find business class seats in Europe next summer has not worked out so far. I'm just feeling like the more time goes by, now that we're inside that 1 year threshold, the less and less opportunity I'm going to have. And with my son's football and everything, there's really only like a 2-week window where we can take our vacation. So I got to get all that worked out. I don't even know if it'll work at all yet. The other personal factor that comes into play, schedule, only 1 day of PTO left. There's also some blocking out of the calendar in the month of December at work, so I really can't travel at all in December. I only get 2 days automatically off at Christmas, and then I can put in for like a shift bid thing for 2 more days, and that's it. So I might get four days off work at Christmas, maybe, to be determined, don't know yet. The other factor is my parents. My elderly parents live in assisted living, and one thing that's been a silver lining to that, despite having to take care of them and spend a lot of my time each week helping them out, is that I can pay their assisted living bill with a credit card with no fee as of right now. But I met with a lawyer / financial planner, and as they prepare to go on Medicaid, what he told me is basically at the end of this year I need to stop doing that. So starting in January, I will no longer have that $5,000, $6,000 a month of automatic spend built in that I get reimbursed. And the logic there is just related to there's this look back period with Medicare. So to qualify for Medicare, we have to track their expenses super carefully. And after discussion, he just said, there's too much risk involved. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You need to just put that on your parents' credit card for the time being. We kind of compromised. I agreed to go through the end of the year, but after the end of this year, I won't be able to do that anymore. So there goes some of my big spend opportunities. So this Amex Business Platinum will probably be my last big hoorah for those easy to obtain sign-up bonuses. So that's kind of got me down in the dumps maybe a little bit, but maybe that'll be good because I can relate to most normal salaried or waged corporate people who don't have a bunch of business spend to put in a card, where I can only run $50,000 a year, maybe if that, through a credit card. So maybe back to my roots a little bit, because I didn't used to be able to do that. It's only been about the last year and a half, going on 2 years, I've been able to do that trick. So it was fun while it lasted, but that's going away. I'll probably come out with a whole nother video on that. So a little bit of my credit card burnout is just I don't really have anything going on right now. I don't have any big goals. And, maximizing everyday spend is just not that exciting to me. I mean, I still do it. I use the right credit card at the right time. I don't like obsessing over 3X categories. So it's all just kind of like, meh, whatever. I haven't discovered like any new or unique tricks yet that I can be excited to share about. So it's just talking about stuff I already know. So what are some things I can do to help get out of this miniature depression of credit cards or burnout? Well, I think one thing I can do is schedule some sort of travel. I think just booking travel, even if I end up not taking the trip, could be good for my health. I don't have a truckload of free time to do that, but I might look into it anyway. Possibly, last year my boys and I went to my sister's place in Chicago, used up some free night certificates in the very early part of January. Might do that again because my 6 weeks of unlimited PTO starts over again on January 1st, so I'll have a little more flexibility in January. Not that I want to blow it all right away. Maybe I can plan, since I'm not going to be able to do a fall break trip with my kids, doing my Wisconsin cabin getaway with them in October, maybe I'll do a solo trip like in, I don't know, I think it would have to be the first couple weeks of November because my job starts blocking out the calendar a week before Thanksgiving, where you can't request time off without very special circumstances, and saying I want to take a vacation does not qualify as very special circumstances. So I could use my one remaining day off work, combine it with I don't know if we get off Veterans Day or not. I'll have to look into that. Or I could do a work from anywhere trip where like I leave Friday right after work. I'm out part of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday. On Monday, I work at my lodging, whether that's, a cabin or hotel, and then drive home on Tuesday or fly home on Tuesday, depending on the situation. It would probably be a road trip. I would probably drive somewhere here in the Midwest. I don't think I would go further than that. Or the other option would be, just plan weekends without time off work. A couple just drive to Omaha and spend one night in a hotel and see the Railroad Museum or something like that. Not exactly sure. So planning some travel I think would be good for me. Seeing if I could find like a new trick. If a new credit card came out I really believed in, that would help, I think. If you know of any, let me know. I've been watching my Chase app to see if they will extend the pay yourself back feature on the Chase Aeroplan card at all beyond the end of this calendar year. So far they have not, but here's to hoping, fingers crossed. Thought about trying to figure out a path to get to the Ritz-Carlton card. That could be fun just for the sake of pursuing it. And then the last thing I think I need to do is some credit card simplification. Easier said than done. Like, I've been talking about getting rid of Citi entirely. I think I would feel better if I didn't have so many cards I had to mess with. I've got a lot of recurring charges going on, like 10 to 15 different cards, and I'd kind of like to get that down to maybe 1 or 2, quite frankly, so it's not a little here, a little there. Even if it's not perfectly optimized, you know, if my subscription to some online magazine that codes as online shopping, you know, instead of getting me 4 Hilton points, only gets me 2x everywhere else points, is that really that big of a deal? No, those things are already pretty equal anyway. So maybe I'll kind of switch all of that kind of recurring normal subscription type spend over to my Wells Fargo Signify card and then ditch Citi. I said easier said than done because some of the cards I want to get rid of I'm carrying a balance on under a 0% introductory offer, and it's not that I would be unable to get rid of them by paying it off, but I'd have to shuffle money around from one place to another, and right now I'm still earning like 4.5% on those money market funds. I made like $170 last month in dividends on a money market fund just from, like, you know, not paying off 0% interest credit cards right away. So that's kind of cool. Well, not just that. It's a mixture of spacing out payments over a year as well as intentionally keeping a balance. I don't recommend that for everyone, but if you really know what you're doing, that's okay. Disclaimer, I have not paid 1 penny of credit card interest since 2019. So in the last 5 years, 5.5 almost, I have not paid 1 cent of credit card interest. So yes, I am careful with keeping track of my 0 interest offers. So working on that, I think if I could simplify down, maybe get rid of Citi altogether, see if I can do my strategy with Capital One where I get a Saver One card going. That'll take a bit of finagling. I don't want to go into a ton of detail right now because this video is already going kind of long. Get my Amex portfolio trimmed down and get it down to, you know, basically just Chase and Wells Fargo for the everyday stuff with a little bit of US Bank Altitude Reserve mixed in. That might make me feel a little better. All right, so what advice do you have on me on overcoming my miniature funk or burnout? Put any comments down below. Let me know what you think. I also feel like there just hasn't been anything exciting in the world of points and miles. No, like, you know, like when the Capital One Venture X launched, that was a big deal. We haven't had anything like of that magnitude in 6 months. So maybe something amazing will come along and I'll get all excited again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, may your spending be frugal and may your points be plenteous. Thanks for watching.